Here's the second great characteristic of a strong church, where we have to live God in our heart, the formational core, spiritual formation it's traditionally called. Can we take God deep into our lives so that our lives are transformed, our loves are remade, our deepest desires recast? How do we do the faith? Can we connect it to our deepest selves, living lives of virtue, the formational imperative? And of course, in Acts 14:23, we find that Paul and Barnabas found these churches, it says, with prayer and fasting, getting the gospel in deep through their pastoral love. Paul and Barnabas showed how the spiritual life is truly lived. But they don't dominate. They said they committed them to the care of the Lord in verse 23. Now remember back to the persecutor. What's the persecutor's goal here? The persecutor wants the Christian to stay superficial. He doesn't want the faith to penetrate to the deepest parts of the Christian. The persecutor does not want us to become a committed disciple. Or, if we do, wants to keep us so distracted that we can never take the faith in deeply enough and be formed by Christ. You could say, in a sense, the persecutor's aim is to make us go cold on Christ. And there is some biblical warrant for this. If you examine Matthew 24, 9-14, you find that 4 things happen to the believer in the end times, according to Jesus. Hated by the world. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers. Betrayed by your own. Many will turn away from me and betray and hate each other. Deceived in the church. Many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. And then frozen within your soul. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. So isn't it interesting that coldness is the climax of the pressure? The goal of a sophisticated persecutor is to ensure that our love grows cold. Then you no longer bring your deepest self to Christ. So what stops us being alert to the love of Christ? Well, busyness, religion, comfortability, lack of community. And you look at distract, would be very, very important here when we think of the 6 Ds. We talked about the value to the persecutor of a person living such a busy life that we're distracted from the one thing needful, which is why it's so imperative, as we said, to build ourselves a cell. Disrupt is also very critical too, because this often serves to leak away time into unimportant processes that perhaps are not so important.